What's up, you guys? Jefferey Benson right here. In this channel today, I'm going to be doing a payout review for Consummate Traders. You guys know that I dropped a video recently talking about a review on consummatetraders.com. So it's a proprietary firm that is willing to give you money to trade for them. And you trade whenever you make profit, you get to keep 80% in the first month, 85% in the second month, and 90% third month and subsequently. That's what it's all about. So this person we have here today has been able to make payouts and is here to show us his payout proof. Please kindly introduce yourself and how much you've made and for how long you've been trading and how easy it was for you to pass.
My name is Bala Francis, and I actually made about $18,000 on Consummate Traders, and I got paid out $14,000, right? And it took me about 2 weeks to make $18,000. I gave myself a goal to make just 10% of the account. So when I did $18,000, I had to pause trading until I got my payouts.
Amazing.
Yes, sir.
So for how long did it take you to pass phase 1, phase 2, and to become funded?
Well, it took me about 2 weeks to pass the phase 1 and phase 2 of the evaluation. I completed the first phase of the evaluation in less than a week, and the second stage as well in also less than a week. And I got funded with Consummate Traders.
Amazing. You're one of the fastest so far. I've seen one of the fastest guys that I've seen got funded is 2 hours because we have 0 minimum trading days in Consummate Trader. He passed phase 1 that same day, same hour. He got phase 2, he passed, and then he became funded. That's it. Now you said you passed yours in 2 weeks. Well, that's an amazing thing. Now, how much account did you purchase?
I purchased a $200,000 account.
Okay, and you're able to make $18,000 when you're funded in how much in 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks as well. First 2 weeks of January, I did my $18,000 profit.
For how long, after you've made your $18,000 in 2 weeks, how long did it take you for you to be due for your payout?
It took me 30 days because the rule says we paid after 30 days after being funded. So after I finished my $18,000 in 2 weeks, I had to wait for another 2 weeks before I got my payout.
Right, but subsequently, how many weeks do you have to start getting your payout?
Bi-weekly.
All right, sounds good. So please, I know many audience right now that are watching you, they are curious. They want to know more about you. They want to know how exactly you're able to pass. Can you just show us your account metrics at the back office, please?
All right, let me just do that now. So this is my the funded account where I made $18,000, and when I was due for payment, I had to transfer $14,000 from the funded account into my wallet on Consummate Traders. So this was when I transferred $14,000. It came to the wallet right here on the 19th of February. This is my account dashboard on Consummate Traders, and this was the account I traded from challenge to verification and until I became funded.
Can you explain that? Look at this. It is the same account you trade. Sorry, can you explain that? But I want it to be clear. On your challenge, is the same account you trade, and that same login details becomes your verification, and it also becomes your funded account.
Yes.
And then they delete the history.
Yes, sir.
Challenge, delete the history for the verification, and then you have your funded account to trade. Correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Amazing. Go ahead and show us your details for your account, your funded account.
So these are the details of my funded account. This was the account I traded. And I made $18,000 profit on it. And I want you to keep in mind that once you take your phase 1 evaluation, your phase 1 evaluation, and you pass, it's the same account you are going to use to trade your phase 2 evaluation. And once you get funded, you only get to have access to the funded account details on the account dashboard. So once you click here, it's going to take you to the account matrix. So I'm going to show you my account matrix and the number of trades I took and how much I've been able to realize on this account. So this is my account matrix. These are the trades. You can see currently it's enabled, right? Currently, I still have about a maximum of, let me show you my maximum. I still have a maximum drawdown. I still have a maximum permitted loss of about $12,000 on this account. Okay, I've not traded today, so there is no profit on this account to pay. All right, so once
why is it curve? Why is it flat? Is it that you've not traded on this account since you make your...
I've not traded for some time actually, so that's why the curve is flat. And once you are inactive for some time, the curve is going to be flat.
Can you show us your trades that you took during this period?
All right, so these are the trades I took during the period I traded on this account. You can see the last time I traded here was on the 2nd of February, and I had to wait until I got paid out on this account.
Okay.
All right. So you can see that the last trade I took was a loss. It was a minus $2,500 loss. All right, but I took about quite a number of trades, and my highest today was a $7,000 win. And the only pair I trade here is GBP USD with 10 lot size, and a few times I reduce my lot sizes to 5 lot size when I'm not very sure of the trades taking.
Can we see your biggest win and your biggest loss?
All right, let me show you my biggest win. My biggest win was a $7,000 day, like I said. So this was my biggest win. This was my biggest win.
And that happened on 2nd of February. What about your biggest?
That happened on 2nd of February 2023.
Your biggest loss?
My biggest win.
Loss? What about your loss? I've seen your win, your loss.
My biggest loss was a $6,000 loss.
Okay.
Okay, this is it. Minus 6,563.
You have another one at the top again. You have another one again, minus 6,923. That was the biggest. 2 up.
Okay, yeah.
Minus 6,920. Wow. And you're still able to continue and you made profit, more profit.
Yes, sir.
Wow. This place you're using 20 lot size. Can you explain why? Why did you have to double down?
Okay, I was using a 20 lot here because remember I mentioned that my standard SL is 20 pips. So in conditions where my SL becomes 10 pips, I use 20 lot size.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you.
This is my 5th year in the trading industry. Started trading around 2018.
All right. Well, where are you based? Where are you from?
I was based in Maiduguri. I'm from Borno State, and I was in Maiduguri at the time I started trading.
Nigeria.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before I had to relocate to my new base here.
But what do you learn?
Well, I learned from quite a lot of people, but one of the trainings that affected my life significantly was when I enrolled for ICT mentorship and for his 1-year mentorship. And then 2-3 years after that experience, my trading performance literally improved.
Okay.
To a very significant level.
Amazing. So what would you say facilitated your success this fast? What would you say is the actual catalyst?
For me, I think it's learning risk management very well, really propelled my success. Number 2, working on my edge. I understand the concept I'm using. I understand it to a level. I can say I've mastered the art. So these 2 things truly affected propelled my trading success.
What is the highest amount you have withdrawn? Is this the highest amount you've withdrawn in a single month?
Funny enough, this is the highest withdrawal I've made at once.
Wow.
Previously, I've done withdrawals, like crazy withdrawals.
$14,000.
Yeah.
Okay. But you've done other withdrawals, but not as much as $14,000 in 1 month.
I've done 4,000. I've done 5.
Yeah.
I've done quite a number of withdrawals, but this is a bulk withdrawal. This is the first time.
But I'm sure this huge one, since money that comes in bulk, you actually can just channel it to a particular thing, and it's not coming if you can channel it to a very big project. I'm sure you're working on bigger projects, right?
Yes, sir.
So I'm sure now that you now have a $200,000 account and a steady flow of income is coming in, I'm sure, do you have a plan what you want to use your account to achieve? Maybe like buying a house, buying a car, buying anything like that. Do you have anything like any such plan?
Exactly. One of the things I want to be able to do, leveraging on ProfM and specifically Consummate Traders, is that first I want to build a personal trading equity of at least $200,000 personal trading equity. And then I want to be able to, of course, as we are making money, we want to invest our money into physical assets that will in turn bring back money. Yeah, so that's what I want to do, because we will buy houses and quite a lot of things, interesting things.
Amazing. Right now, I'm sure most people would already be very, very, very anticipating what risk management you employ. Can you just explain the risk management you employ and also share us a little bit of your strategy. But let's go with your risk management explanation first.
My risk management strategy is such that I only use 1% risk per trade. I take 1% risk per trade, and a maximum of 2 trades per day. All right. So what I do is that I just multiply my account's equity multiplied by the risks I want to take, and then I divide it by the stop loss I want to use. So my standard SL is 20 pips. So once you multiply, for example, $200,000 multiplied by 1% all over 20 pip SL, then the standard lot size is 10. So that is what I do across every trade. It's just 10 lot size, 20 pip SL. And I do 1:3, sometimes 1:5, 1:3, 1:5, 60 pips, 200 pips on GBP USD.
That kind of sounds so interesting. Please take us to your charts. Show us what you've got for us. Please, can you show us your strategy? What strategy do you use right now?
All right. I use smart money concept, institutional trading concept. So that's what I use to trade.
Please show us on your screen.
Then this is what I do on the monthly time frame. The first thing I do is I study where price has traded away from in the last or previous price action. All right. Then I determine the current institutional order flow.
Why exactly are we using the dollar right now? When we saw you placing GBP USD trade, what is the help of DXY to you? I'm sure this is a question that people might be asking in their head. I know this is what you do, but let's answer that first.
All right. The reason is because the dollar is the benchmark asset that literally determines the direction of every other foreign currencies. If the dollar is bullish, foreign currencies would be bearish.
Okay, so
more like to say that the dollar is.
You use this one to determine. You do analysis on USD index, and then you go and do opposite on GBP USD. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
All right, please go ahead with your analysis then. Amazing.
So it's a simple fundamental correlation, or you can call it intermarket analysis. If the dollar is bullish, GBP USD will be bearish. If the dollar is bearish, GBP USD will be bullish. But because the dollar is the lead, the dollar is the benchmark asset. So I need to know what's happening on the dollar. Then I now go back to GBP USD and find out what GBP USD, whether GBP USD is reacting to the dollar move or not.
Okay.
If it's reacting to the dollar move, then that would be a good day to trade. If it's not reacting to the dollar move, then I know that there is a manipulation unfolding in the marketplace.
All right,
so
go ahead.
On the sideline.
Go ahead and tell us what you are currently seeing on USD index, and then go on GBP USD and tell us an ideal market you would have actually taken advantage of. Let's see how you do it.
All right. So I analyzed the direction of this dollar index as at Sunday that we were going to have a bearish market on the dollar index. And why did I do that? Because on the monthly time frame, I saw the dollar traded into an institutional reference point on the monthly, which is called the volume imbalance. All right. This place I marked with this orange box here, right, is called volume imbalance. There's a reason. There's a gap there. If you zoom closely, you will see that these two candles have a gap in between them where only the wicks are trespassing within each other, right? Only the wicks passed in between, but the body of the candles created a gap. So this type of gap tells me that the institutions have an interest on it. Okay. All right. So I just go down to the weekly time frame. I'm doing top-down analysis now. So on the weekly time frame, I now saw that the dollar actually traded into a bearish order block. That monthly volume imbalance confluenced with a weekly bearish order block. You can see it here outlined. Okay. Okay. Then I now went down to the daily time frame, and I saw that after it traded into that level, we had a shift in market structure on the daily. This shift in market structure that broke structure to the downside, price had been forming higher high, higher low, higher high. Then all of a sudden, we had a shift in market structure with the body of the candle closing below the last higher low that we had here. This tells me that we are now in a bearish market environment. But how will I like to go bearish? I will wait for price to retrace into a premium level. What is that premium level? I'll simply take my Fibonacci and then draw it between the last high to the last low and wait for price to trade above 50% of the Fibonacci. above 50% is premium, below 50% is discount. So I would like to sell in a premium market, and I would like to buy in a discount market. All right. So price traded into a premium. So where am I looking at in that premium? I'm looking at a fair value gap or a bearish order block. All right. There are many institutional reference points, about 7 of them, but I'm paying attention to fair value gap or order blocks in a premium or in a discount market after the institutions have shown where they want to go to. So I simply waited, and then price went into that level. That was last 2 weeks. Right, and then traded to the downside. So this week, when the market opened on Sunday, I just gave out a simple hack to know whether we are bearish or bullish. We need to see a gap opening lower to tell us that we are bearish on the dollar, or a gap opening higher to tell us that we are bullish on the dollar. Okay. All right, so the dollar opened right here on Monday with a gap opening lower. Once you just go down to the 1 hour, you'll see that gap opening on Sunday midnight opening. This was it. You can see this gap here, right? Yeah. So this was the gap open lower. Immediately I felt that I now knew that, okay, the dollar is going to continue bearish. But when am I going to take a trade? I'm going to take a trade in London session or New York session. Okay. So in London, I'll simply wait for price to trade into an institutional reference point. Then I'll go down to the 5 minutes or 15 minutes time frame and look for my entry signature. So I outlined this level, which was the fair value gap. Just the same hack I used on the daily. Use my Fibonacci between that high to the low. I would like to sell it once it trades into 50% of that range or above 50% of that range. That is a premium market. Okay. So you can see price went for 50% of that range. And then I saw that there was an institutional reference point that is confluencing with this Fibonacci level, which is the fair value gap as well. Remember, I said I'm just looking for fair value gaps or order block in a premium market. That's where I'll be looking to enter a sell or a buy. So price traded into that level. Then I just went to the 15 minutes time frame and executed a sell on the dollar. That means I started to buy the pound dollar at that point. Okay. So this was that level. You can see it. Immediately price traded into it. What am I looking for? I'm looking to see a clear displacement to the downside or an expansion to the downside that creates a bearish order block with a fair value gap attached to it, because that is the most valid order block. So you can see after price traded to that level.
Sorry, why you do this? What action do you take on GBPUSD? The pair we see you were actually trading.
What action did I?
When you see this whole stuff, what would you not do on GBPUSD? Because it was GBPUSD we see that you used to pass. And you're
I will just go to the GBPUSD and now look for a buy signature, because the dollar is printing a sell.
Show us a buy signature, an example of a buy signature on GBPUSD.
Good. So let me just go to that GBPUSD chart here. So remember I said if we were bearish on the dollar, I need to see a gap opening lower. That means I need to see a gap opening higher on GBPUSD. Okay. So if you take a look at this, this was Friday, this is Sunday midnight open. Yeah. You can see that this gap open higher, confirm that, okay, we are now bullish on GBPUSD. All right. So how will I take a trade? I will just wait during the London session. I'll just look for a breaking market structure on the 1 hour or 15 minutes time frame, and I'll be looking to enter once price returns into fair value gap or order block. So look at what we have here. Price consolidated in Asia. So look at what we have here. Price consolidated for a while in Asian session. And because I'm only paying attention to London, I would like to take a trade in London and New York. So during London session, I would like to buy once price trades below Asia low and then break structure to the upside. I will be buying if price returns to an order block of fair value gap. Okay. I mean, price pick up the Asian low here.
Can you just use your long and short to explain where your stop loss would be in this market, where your take profits would be, and where your ideal entry point would be for clear understanding for newbies that will be watching?
So this is the Asian low price broke structure right here in London, right? So I was waiting to buy on this candle. This last sell candle that was traded through by these two bullish candles. These two bullish and engulfing candles is called an order block. So I will just outline it here.
Okay,
You can see that,
your
right?
long, can you use your long functionality to do that?
Then I will now use my long functionality and bring my SL to the low of that candle.
Why will your SL be on the low of the candle?
Because that's the model. If you are buying on an order block, your stop loss has to be below the low of that order block.
Okay.
Very specific.
So now, how many stop loss are you risking on this trade? And how many TP are you targeting?
So if you measure the stop loss here, you can see that it's an 18 pip SL, less than a 20 pip.
Okay. And then?
An 18 pip SL, less than a 20 pip.
What's your take profit?
And my take profit is just 1:3 or 1:5. All right.
Okay.
So immediately price traded, just anything 50, 60 pips, I would like to go out of the market. You can see this is about a 90 pip move. I will have been out since around 60 pips. I will take partials or offset all my positions.
Okay, that 60 pips, that is 1 to 3.
Yes.
18 times 3, that's like 54. So 54, 50, yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So are there any other exits that you look out for? What if price doesn't get to 1 to 3? Is there anything that you look at to exit?
Yes, of course. I just go to the 5 minutes time frame, 5 or 15 minutes. Once I see price giving me a bearish signature, I know that, okay, this may be a retracement. I would like to take my positions, or because I'm doing day trading, or I would like to kill everything off.
Wow, look at that spike. Would you have survived this spike? Would you have survived that spike?
No, that's not a spike.
Okay, I thought it was a spike. Okay.
Big measurement, yeah.
Right, thank you very much.
Remember, I said the criteria for that buy was that I need to see a breaking market structure, return to an order block with a fair value gap. This is 15 minutes time frame. You can see that order block clear, the fair value gap attached to it, right?
Yeah.
Once I see this same signature on the opposite end, it tells me to go out of the market.
Oh, I see. Thank you. Thank you very much, Francis. I see you are always willing to share a lot of knowledge. Thank you very much. And thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you. What is your advice of those who want to take on this strategy? What would you advise them to actually watch out for?
I think patience is one of the major things you will need, especially when you are trading like the way I do, because I pay attention to time before price action, right? Because with this strategy, you would see a lot of entry signatures, but once you are not influencing your time and price action, you get on a trade and you'll be taken out only to discover that you were taking a trade on the wrong time, or you take a trade and you go into consolidation because you took it on the wrong time. But once it is the right time, London, New York, and you see the entry signature printing out, you have to be patient enough, see it on the higher time frame, refine it to the lower time frame, wait patiently, let the institutions show you where they want to go to using those signatures I said, a shift in market structure, a break in market structure, allow them to return into that order block fair value gap before you engage. So patience is what you need.
So how many prop firm accounts have you taken with Consummate Traders before passing this one?
Well, I passed about 5 other prop firms before Consummate on a row, like back to back. I passed 5 before I now did Consummate.
So you only just took one Consummate 200K and you passed straight up?
Yep.
Wow, that's smart and amazing. Okay, so I'm looking forward to seeing you take up more account challenge and build up your personal portfolio. Do you intend on buying more accounts? And what's your plan in that?
My plan is to be able to trade $1 million in funding, prop funding, $1 million. That's what I want to do. Once I have $1 million in funding, then the goal is to do just 10% monthly.
Okay, just 10%. That's $100,000. You start getting $90,000 every month. Full cash.
Every month. I want to do that for like a year. Then from there, I can prepare my next move as well.
Sounds good, and I wish you the best of luck as you go ahead in doing that. If you need any support, just reach out to me at any time. For somebody who is making $40,000 in a month, I don't think you need any support. Trust me. What would you have to say about that?
Well, with the recent happening in the industry, and especially because of the last meeting you held in Lagos, Forex Millionaire Expo, it tells us that we need more collaboration. No, I wasn't around, but funny enough, you didn't know that I was the person that referred the CEO of Quaco to reach out to you.
Powerful. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Amazing.
Yeah. So we need more collaboration in the industry. We need more association. It doesn't necessarily have to be more like in support, but once we are building networks, what I see you doing is that you are creating a lot of networks. You have all the networks, all the big guys in the industry, and that's what we are looking to do as well. So of course, expect to hear me a lot.
Amazing.
I'll reach out to a lot of.
Perfect. Thank you guys for coming on today's interview, and I'm sure you guys will just be the next person on my channel talking about how massive payouts that you received in months. All right, so bye for now, guys.